Hi, I'm Jenny Spinner, Chief Editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I am here today with a snack innovator by the name of Daniel Pollak of Solula. And welcome, Daniel.
Well, thank you very much for having me today.
I first encountered you and your company a few months ago, and it's an interesting story, and I'm glad you're here to tell us a little bit more about you. And what Solula is all about. Could you start off by telling us a bit about you and your work before Solula was born? Your produce business travels all around the world. Anything you'd like to share would be great.
Yeah, thanks. I grew up in a produce business. My father started in the 1950s, and my brother and other family members have joined in over the past 30, 40 years and 50 years, I guess. And we've grown that domestic business to all different fruits and vegetables throughout the United States, grown in the United States. In the late 80s and the early 90s, we expanded out to Central and South America to keep the supply chain 12 months a year of product. So we got an extensive relationship with different growers in Central and South America with different items such as asparagus and mangoes and snow peas, sugar snap peas, and different products like that. Um, what else? Let's see. We became really, really close with these different growers, and we work with them to help market their entire crop. So we've sent product to all over Europe and all over Asia to get higher returns, as well as work with them to develop secondary markets for product that just doesn't fit the export or the local consumption
Mhm.
um, of their local towns and countries, and that's where we got into processing. So we built the facility in Peru and Nicaragua and Guatemala, and we just kept on, developing different programs to help utilize the entire product coming out of the field.
What inspired you and your team to take the plantains you'd been helping bring to U.S. consumers and turn them into your tasty chips?
So we've been working with plantains over the past decade or so in our processing facilities in Central America. Um, and the plantain chip or the tostone chip that we've been eating it for many years through our different growers, houses, and families have fed us this product. And it was, I don't know, just something that needed to be shared with everybody. The product it's so delicious and good that it shouldn't be hidden in these countries. It should be brought to the United States and given to everybody to have a chance to experience this product.
Well, one of the things, chips made out of plantains aren't completely new to American consumers, but yours are a little different. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about Solula, and what makes them different from what we've seen before.
So you're right, 100%. The plantain chip has been around for decades. It makes a plantain stable. It's a very healthy product, I guess healthy and nutritious.
Mhm.
So you can carry it with you and snack it throughout the day. Usually what they've done in the past is they've taken that plantain and just kind of made slices of it, fried it, and then put whatever type of flavoring on top. We take a very different approach. We take that same plantain, we cut it a little thicker, we do fry it, we take it out of the fryer and we smash it, we open it up. That breaks the fibers open, it makes it more surface area, and then we put it back in the oil and fry it again. And it makes it really crispy and crunchy. It's a lot bigger. It just changes the entire eating experience. It's like my growers do at home, and it tastes like it's homemade. And you could taste it every time you eat a bag of Solula.
Yeah, it's having thank you for the samples you sent, by the way. Plantain chips are typically like hard, and they're crunchy is maybe not the word. They're a little bit work out for your jaw sometimes, depending on how they're cooked, but yours are lighter, yours are crispy rather than super crunchy. So it's a completely different eating experience. Um, you talked a little bit about how they're made. What kind of challenges did you have coming up with it? Did you refine the process that your growers used in their home countries? How did you figure out how to take that and scale it?
Yeah, I mean it's a process. It's a lot of hand labor. We do kettle cook everything in batches.
Mhm.
So each one is definitely unique and different. Um, it's not a mechanicalized program. It's we're
Mhm.
hand peeling everything, and we're hand smashing everything, and we're hand frying everything. Um, it's been a process to learn how to do it and be consistent with it. Um, but this is what we do when we own a facility or we operate facilities in these countries. We figure out a way to get it done in a mass volume or high volume program.
I was wondering if you could tell me how you work with your partners in Ecuador and Guatemala, to ensure the quality is up to your standards and that everything's safe, because food safety is important, obviously.
Abs- Absolutely. So the facility in Guatemala, I own and operate myself.
Mhm.
So I have a phenomenal team in place. I personally set the standard operating procedures. I have a full-time quality control person who inspects the entire process and the finished goods to make sure they are up to standards. Um, and then as far as Ecuador is concerned, we have a partnership in the facility down there. And again, we've worked hand in hand with them to make sure that they follow the same standard operating procedures um, and quality standards that we um, demand for Solula. And as well, I also have a full-time food safety person that works for us, all my companies, who make sure that we abide by all the USDA standards and actually meets and beats them. Um, and she does her, audits every year and then independent audits, randomly throughout the years to make sure that anything that we handle, is above the standards that is required to bring into the United States.
That's great. Um, so it sounds like you've built over the years and then recently with Solula, built some really great close partnerships with local growers and communities. Could you go in a little bit more towards the relationship that you've built to ensure sustainable growing, secure employment, educational efforts, even for the people?
Yes, of course. So we couldn't be in existence if it wasn't for all the different relationships we have with all the different growers. We need the smaller growers, which are really the backbone of these third world countries and these developing countries. Um, the individual who has 1 hectare of land that were given, and they have to generate revenue off of that, crops off of that, and
Mhm.
turn that into cash to be able to survive. To some of the larger growers who are exporting product and have the seconds. When we call seconds, they're misshapen or miscolored, but they're perfectly good for consumption, just not good for export. So we partner with all sorts of different growers. We support the small guys who have their own, as I said, one little plot of land. We help them with fertilizers. We help them with technology, labor if they need it, financing if they need it, um, and we work with those growers, many of them to help support us.
Mhm.
And then as far as in our facilities, every country and every area has their own needs and concerns. We work with some people who maybe walk 3 or 4 or 5 miles every single day to work, and we get programs so that they can get bicycles or motorcycles and to get to work. Or we offer shuttles. We sponsor the small schools in the local areas to help them get a better education and help them out. And we've gone as far as in our facility in Nicaragua is even offering a hot shower, where people are usually bathing in the river nearby. We give them an opportunity to take a nice hot, clean shower and be sanitary. So we get very involved with our employees because it's a family. And we want to see them succeed and fend for their families and do better for themselves.
That's amazing. Well, before I send you off on your merry way, because I'm sure you've got a busy schedule today, can you tell us what do you have planned for the near and distant future for Solula? New products, new outlets? Where can we buy Solula as consumers?
So right now as I said, we're just starting.
Mm-hmm.
We're in about 700 doors, which is pretty cool to think when you walk
Cool.
into a store, you see your product on the shelf. Um, but we're, in all different outlets right now. We're in ABC Liquors all over Florida, and we're in Acme supermarkets in the produce department. We just launched in the 7-Elevens in the Chicago area. And we're going to be in Tony's shortly as well. Fresh Time, we're going to launch in the end of August in the produce department. And we're in independent stores in Wisconsin and out in the Pac Northwest, as well as we're in Lowe's supermarkets and Noria Energy convenience stores. So we're hitting all sorts of different retailers in different fashions, which is pretty cool. As well as you can get us online at www.enjoysolula.com or Amazon. And we got a couple of cool things that we're developing and working with, different flavors to start with, but there's a lot of different unique things that we could do with plantains. We just need to get everybody really to understand a tostone chip and the difference between a tostone and a plantain chip, and go out and try it because it's really a different, unique eating experience.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It resonated with me when I first heard about it, and then you were kind enough to send samples. And I mean, they're perfect for homemade salsa, for guacamole, but it's just a really cool eating experience, the texture and the flavor just by itself. So thank you for sending the samples once again. If I haven't thanked you enough, but most of all, thank you for your time. I'm really glad that you took the time to explain you and your company and what's ahead.
Oh, well, thank you very much for the opportunity. It was a great experience and I appreciate it.
Thanks. And thank you to our audience for listening. We'll talk again soon.